Hi everyone, John Ice here with Ice Implement. Been getting a lot of people asking about the Stihl iMow robotic lawnmower. Curious on what it's capable of doing, and just thought we'd put it to the test. So we've installed it on a large property here, 1.3 acres roughly. Now the RMI 632 is designed for up to 1 acre. So we're pushing the limits, beyond the limits here, with about 30% more area to cover and a lot of obstacles. We have probably north of 50 different trees that the iMow is bouncing off of and navigating around to maintain that 1.3 acres as well. So we got 2 weeks in now on this install, and you can see just the difference in how the iMow is maintaining the short cut of the grass compared to the neighbors here. And then also prior to the iMow, we had to trim underneath all these cedar trees, and then we've got quite a few more over there and some more spruce trees we'll walk to in a little bit. But a lot of trimming, well over an hour of trimming each time for all of this. So we've been able to eliminate all of that. We'll go over to the front of the property here now. Again, more cedar trees. And you can do restricted areas around obstacles as well. For example, here we did it around this ash tree. And notice the tall grass that is around it right now. We purposely installed the restricted wire away from the tree. There, we can't get it much closer to the tree because it's good. The angle is going to be a little too steep and you get some of those knots from the tree. But we just wanted to show a comparison there of how we will have to do a little trimming there. Here we did restricted areas around the maple trees as well, and it's holding up really well. Cutting around those, we did them a little tighter. With some designs, you're going to run into some obstacles. Here, our septic tank, the holding tanks ran a little bit too low to the ground. So I'm going to redesign this, build it up a little bit, and put some landscape curbing around so that the iMow could bounce off of that. But here again, keeping the grass nice and plush. Spruce trees give you an idea of how it looked before the iMow, when we're cutting with the regular lawnmower over here on the other side of the fence, which is not cut by the iMow. You can see the tall grass underneath the spruce trees there. That's how it was on this entire side here, but with just a little trimming of some limbs and cleaning out underneath there, now the iMow is able to cut through and keep everything clean underneath the spruce trees. Let's go to the largest area that it's maintaining. And actually it's out right now. It's raining and it's out cutting. One common question we've had is, how does the iMow handle hills, especially with it only having 2 wheels that drive? And we've been pleasantly surprised by its ability. Here's a large mound system, which is about 21 degrees. It looks, when you look at it, it looks like 45 degrees, but the actual degree angle of it is only 21. iMow hasn't had a problem with it navigating up and down. Now, with exceeding the limit of 1 acre on this unit, that's a lot of grass to cover for that little guy. You will see some patches over here. With so much rain we've had, grass is growing so fast. I don't know if you can see it in the video or not, but there are some patches here that are a little bit longer than the rest of the lawn. Again, putting it beyond its capabilities right now. But that was the idea. The idea was to see how much this could handle and then also allow us to provide customers with better recommendations. Again, these cedar trees much cleaner looking now that the iMow is cutting underneath them rather than having to go around and trim them. You get up to it here and you just listen to how quiet it is. Another question we've had come up quite often is security. And what happens? Somebody just comes and picks up this iMow and steals it. For starters, for the iMow to operate, it requires a perimeter wire throughout the property and a docking station to power the perimeter wire. So if somebody just picks up the iMow and steals it, it's useless. Also, there's security settings. So right now, this one is set up for a 4-digit PIN code. If the iMow is lifted up at all, you have to enter the 4-digit PIN code to reactivate it. Here we're going to get into the trees here and bounce around a little bit. And it looks like we'll be able to get up some terrain here, going over top of the mountain system. Another common question we've gotten is, how does it cut? Does it cut in a pattern? And as you can see, it's from the footage you see now, it's a random pattern. So there's an algorithm to the randomness. The mower's identifying the most efficient, fastest way to cut the lawn based on a random pattern. And also, each time the iMow starts up to cut, it'll actually reverse the direction of the blade spinning. And that's all really just about trying to keep that grass looking as plush as possible and standing straight up. If you've ever noticed with a lawnmower, if you cut in the same direction all the time, it tends to be bent over a little bit. So yes, for those folks that do like having the striping in their yard, you're going to lose that striping up and down. But the payback from there is that your grass is always cut. It's always at the height that you normally cut it at, so it never looks shaggy. Here's a good test for it going up the hill. Now, as you see, we're out in the rain right now cutting. There's a rain sensor on the iMow. You can adjust it to your liking. You can have it not cut at all in the rain, somewhere in between, or you can simply just have it cut anytime, whether it's a downpour or whatnot. It really does well. There's the mower deck underneath, which I can pick the iMow up here and take a look at. So safety features, anytime it's picked up, it'll automatically shut off. Here's the undercarriage. There's the mower blade. And you can just see how clean it stays under there, even with how wet it is right now. There's water literally dripping off the wheels right now. And then, because we picked it up, there's the PIN code lock. So I gotta enter my 4-digit PIN. Sorry, I'm not gonna share that with you today. And you get a notice saying that the hood was lifted. And we're just gonna make it mow a little bit longer here. Goes. Another common question we've had is around safety. How safe is this? I mean, the thing is just randomly cutting my lawn. Is it gonna run over pets or kids or toys or whatnot? So just to give you an idea, the hood sensor is fully functional. Any angle that the iMow is bumped into, it will stop and turn around. And also, when we did have it flipped up over and you could see the blades, there was a pretty significant distance between the outer perimeter of the iMow and where the blade is. So it really has to ride up on an object in order to actually get the blade to make contact with it. So for the most part, from a safety standpoint, it's very safe. One thing to be cautious about is, you know, pet toys or kids' toys or any smaller objects that the iMow could drive over, it will cut them up. And if you notice, our ditches are really long. Again, just to show the example that the iMow can't do everything. And one thing it can't do is it can't ride through water. It can cut during the rain, but if you have any standing water that's going to be an inch or more deeper, could be an issue. There could be a chance that water got up into the electronical portion of the iMow. So our ditches are pretty wet. We're staying away from them, and we'll just be cutting those with our regular lawnmower that we do have. But again, it's not going to solve every problem. The ultimate goal, though, is to free up your time. And for us, this is going to free up about 2 hours a week, especially now when you're having to cut twice a week, trim once or twice a week to keep things looking fresh. But to be able to handle all three of these areas we've been in now, this large section here in front of the house and then over on the side of the house by the neighbors, that's a lot for that little guy to handle. If you're curious about the iMow and like to learn more, visit imowforyou.com or contact us directly at iSimplement 800-474-0281. We'll be happy to answer as many questions as we can for you. If you're really serious, we're more than happy to set up on-site visits to ensure that your property will function just well with the iMow, or stop in at our store and check out our demo unit that we have cutting the front yard.